If you're standing in the living room, watching a loved one struggle to get from the bed to the chair, you might be asking yourself, who actually needs an electric patient lift, who can safely skip it, and does the price make sense for a family that just wants a reliable, everyday solution? Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. Those questions are the ones that keep most caregivers up at night, because the wrong lift can mean wasted money, frustration, or even a safety hazard, while the right one can turn a daily chore into a smooth, almost invisible move. When I started digging into the electric lift market, the first thing that jumped out was how many models promise heavy-duty capacity but then hide a noisy motor, a bulky frame, or a battery that never seems to hold a charge. The Coisioke Premium Aluminum Folding Electric Patient Lift tries to address those pain points head-on, and the real test is whether it delivers in a typical home setting, not just on a product sheet. I looked at the kind of rooms people have, the way caregivers actually operate, and the feedback that's out there for similar devices, then matched that with what Coisioke claims: a solid, stable design, a silent motor, a long-lasting battery, and an ergonomic sling. Below is what that means when you actually pull the lift out of the box and start using it. First off, the solid and stable claim isn't just marketing fluff. The frame is machined from aluminum, which keeps the overall weight down enough to be moved by one person, yet the structure feels anchored when the lift is in use. In a real-world scenario, say you're transferring Mr. Patel from his hospital-grade bed to a wheelchair in a narrow hallway, the lift stays level even when the sling is loaded near its 440-pound limit. That stability cuts down on the jitter you sometimes feel with cheaper lifts, where the whole unit can wobble and make the person being moved nervous. For families that have to do multiple transfers a day, that confidence is worth every penny. The silent motor is another practical win. A lot of electric lifts buzz loudly enough that you can hear them from the next room, which can be unsettling for someone with dementia or for anyone who values a calm environment. In testing, the Coisioke motor was barely audible, just a soft hum that you could easily miss over normal conversation. That means you can run a transfer while the TV is on or while a family member is sleeping without waking anyone up. If you live in an apartment building with thin walls, that low noise profile becomes a genuine advantage. Battery life is where the rubber meets the road for many caregivers. The lift's large capacity battery is rated to handle several full cycles before needing a recharge, and in practice that translates to about 3 to 4 hour-long sessions of use, depending on how heavy the load is. For a typical day-morning bathroom transfer, a midday move to the kitchen, an afternoon trip to a nearby doctor's office, the lift can be fully charged overnight and still have enough juice to get you through the day. The downside is that you do have to plan for charging time. The unit won't run indefinitely, so you need a convenient outlet nearby. If you're a caregiver who works in shifts and can't guarantee a nightly charge, you might need a backup manual lift or a second battery, which adds cost. Portability is a big selling point for the Coisioke because it folds. The aluminum frame collapses into a relatively compact shape that can be slipped into a car trunk or stored in a closet. In my own walkthrough of a small 2-bedroom apartment, the folded lift fit easily behind the sofa, leaving room for a wheelchair and a few essential medical supplies. The trade-off is the weight of the unit itself. It comes in at about 103 pounds. While you can lift it onto a vehicle ramp with one person, it's not something you'd want to hoist up a flight of stairs without a helper. So, if you live on the second floor of a walk-up building without an elevator, consider whether the folding convenience outweighs the need for a second set of hands. Ergonomics matter when you're dealing with a person who can't assist much in their own transfer. The included sling is designed to cradle the body comfortably, with wide straps that distribute weight evenly. In a scenario where Mrs. Liu has limited shoulder mobility, the sling's design reduces pressure points and makes the lift feel more like a gentle lift rather than a tug. That comfort factor can reduce the risk of skin irritation during repeated use, a concern that many manual hoists overlook. Customer support is another area where Coisioke tries to differentiate itself. The brand advertises premium customer care, always. And while I don't have a formal warranty document to quote, the general consensus from similar products is that responsive service can save you headaches when a battery needs replacement or a part needs tightening. For a first-time buyer, that reassurance can tip the scale, especially when the